very aggressive position. You know, either our queen gets there, or we get this line, and I've been playing knight b3. I mean, yeah, it's not the best line, but it seems to lend itself to queenside castling pretty nicely. That move doesn't seem very good. Bishop e3 next. Especially if a move like queen g6 happens, then bishop e3 gets rid of that bishop, so we can go knight c7. It looks like we want to play knight takes b6, but actually getting rid of that bishop and playing knight c7 is the real goal. So let's take this. That's going to be a check. And that's immediately going to be game over. A nice start to the day. Let's get our knight out of there. Also taking this. I mean, yeah, that's pretty damn nice. Let's hit the knight here. There we go. This looks pretty nice. Maybe queen d2. Open the bishop up. Yeah, I'm just developing, bringing the pieces to the center, making escape square, all that good stuff. It's a pretty reasonable one there. The Scotch, I'm telling you, it just pays dividends. All I do every time I play the Scotch, when people play bishop c5, is like I bring the knight back, bring this knight out, just look to trade that bishop because it's so strong, and either plot my knight in d5 or castle and start pushing these pawns. Almost always have a very successful attacking game there. Okay, we're gonna go for another e4 game. More Scotch. Bishop c5, no, knight e5. The never before seen knight e5. We hope for knight f6. That would be not great. Yeah, knight f6 now, I think he's in big trouble. He doesn't have a pawn in the center at all. I'm about to play e5. The knight is gonna have to go back to g8. This looks like a very uncomfortable position. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I don't know if I want to say he's lost here, but not in a good spot. I mean, put the bishop on a good diagonal. Queen h4 check, we have g3, and I would love to play queen h5. I always mention queen there is strong when the knight's on g6, but he can go here and force a queen trade, which I think you know we're not a big fan of. Okay, d5 is a free pawn. Knight b5 is a pretty big threat. So he goes bishop here. It doesn't actually do anything about knight b5 right now. I think I'm going to toss in there. Again, queen h4 is just met by g3 every time. And c7's hanging, so the only move I saw was bishop b6 that could be played. This move hits the rook. Yes, you can trade queens with us, but then knight c7 is going to hurt you at the end. You can even throw in bishop g4 check. But knight c7 is going to hurt you at the end. So this is a rare case. I mean, maybe a little bit rare. Like, I'm happy to trade queens, but it's because I'm specifically winning material. Otherwise, I wouldn't be too interested. So the knight's a goner. I think we know that. There's no rescuing that piece. But I can pick up a pawn for it. I think I will do that. And play bishop e3 next. This guy's also hanging, but I want to make sure to get developed. H3, castle with check. Those are the things I'm looking at. Yeah, takes here allows bishop takes, or sorry, rook takes c2. So instead I'll go like this. And yeah, we want to go h3 and probably castle. Even castling this way looks fine. Tried to pull the street hustler move. This would have worked in the park. It does not work on chess.com. I forgot we already moved our king. My position is not as good as I thought it was. It's still great, but it's not that good. Oh, man. I thought we could just castle away to safety here. Okay, that changes things. I gotta play king f2. They should allow you to castle on chess.com, and if your opponent calls you out for an illegal move, then sorry, that's it, GG. But if they don't, then the move stands. But only for castling. Happy to trade. G4 and F5 is extremely strong here. Damn, that ruined my, I was feeling it. That ruined all my calculations. It's a good move. That is a good move. Shout out to my opponent. I'm going to go here because I don't want to allow h4 at all. So even though this drops a pawn there, I'm hoping that it's a little bit temporary. I can try to get things back with rook h7 maybe. The last thing I want to do though is allow h4 by him. He should take this, like no hesitation, grab the pawn. That's the way to do it. Oh, I really hope he takes it. Damn, I don't think he made the right choice there. A trade, you guys know I'm going to be fairly happy with. At some point I'm going to play rook h7, but for now, maybe I'll play it safe and just protect this. Best case scenario for me would be rook a8, and I get to play a4, and my rooks are on the only two open files, and his rook is stuck with no counterplay on the a or c file. My opponent, good guy that he is, understands that and plays b5. He's getting something going. That's the way to do it. Very happy to see that from him. What are we gonna do here? What's the best way? So I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna encourage rook c3, because if he wants to win one pawn, he's gonna have to trade rooks. I'll trade rooks at the cost of one pawn here. I feel like my opponent really understands quite well the concept of like counterplay, not trading when you're down. So many good things that I'm seeing here. This is exactly what you should do if you're down material. King f8 will give this check and probably go to b8. Okay, that's a nice one too. I'll start with this. Hits the rook, guards the pawn. I assume we'll see this, at which point rook f1 is coming. I think he was quite resilient. It was a nice game. Scotch again, I think like we were winning right out of the opening, right? 95. What is 95? Terrible. So this is already move 8. I've got 3 pieces out, the whole center. Black's got a piece out, and that's it. This is pretty bad. So the opening was a big success there. I'm telling you, the Scotch has been doing its work. Okay, let's go c5 and see what white's doing. Yeah, we're seeing more c3, and I have to say the Sicilian, but specifically this c3 version, it's not that easy to get an attack going. We'll still try. Okay. Long castle kind of energy here. Not the best move, but the move we're gonna do. I don't want to necessarily just go 97 and trade light square bishops. I feel like I want my pieces. G5 right away is probably a little hasty. I'm gonna play the very slow h6. I mean, I'll probably move these pawns, go g4, f4. This is definitely not a great attacking move, but it's there. It's there. He's got his attacking move. I got mine. a6, we could go b6, but I also have the option to include a6 myself here. And I may do that. I know I can take this, but I don't think that's what we want to focus on here. Okay, I'm gonna go like this. I feel like if he gets a6 in, then the diagonal is too weak. But this move comes with tempo, which is the only reason I feel like kind of okay with it. He's got an open file to work with. I don't. And there's a good move. Kind of, I mean, gonna play d5, e5, c5, all the above. So we want to play g4, of course. That's why we did all this. Knight d2 is slightly friendly for us. We have to try for this, but we'll still be hit with a counter attack here. So I think the easiest at this point, because bishop b6 is a threat, is to take the bishop, and after this, not to take the knight, but just to take here. And now we have everything pointed where we want. I know I'm not gonna like win the material there, but we can do it this way. Here, and pawn takes. I'm just wondering, can I throw this in or do I have to win this? I think I can throw this in. Bishop b4, I can just take it. Although, actually, yeah, there's knight f3. Knight f3. That should be mate on h5. This is a free piece, but this looks very difficult to stop. So maybe I'm missing something here. It's just gonna resign. Yeah, I think that's the better move. This one is amazing, great move, great move. But I think this is just the best. White doesn't have this. And yeah, this looked forced. And I don't think there's any stopping like the billion mate threats that I have, because white doesn't even have a check. So yeah, I mean, white played a5. That was as far as the attack went. And we just, as soon as we made an aggressive move like g4, white crumbled. Like knight d2 was already not the right move. And it's not like I'm winning here. I'm launching an attack because that's what the series is all about. But this is definitely risky for me. Like b6 square has been a problem for a little bit now. So that wasn't all sound or anything, but yeah, it's amazing when you just put pressure on someone, how quickly they will fold. Okay, let's go d5. Maybe a Jobava London, trying to think how, I mean, e4 is gonna happen soon. Bishop g5. f4. Damn.
Let's go. Dance with me. Let's go. Dance with me.
I'm gonna play e6 to start. I assume we'll see one of these two moves. Always nice to throw in h6. I think bishop b4 is kind of annoying.
Dance with me.
Knight f3 was actually a good move. I wanted
Dance
to
with
play
me.
g5 and knight e4 here, but he kind of outplayed me a little bit. Outplayed my thought process. I'll go c5, because I'm hoping that he castles queenside. And that's right where I'm
Let's go.
getting my attack going. Queen b5 is impossible right now. Won't allow that queen trade. So, for example, e3, I don't think I'm going to take. Yeah, here I can just go knight c5. This is not a threat. But knight c5 allows queen d4, and then it is a threat.
Dance with
Queen
me.
takes b4, so
Let's go.
I think knight e4 is just simple.
Dance with me.
Okay,
Let's go.
well, I'm going to take a full piece. And after this, you're going to have to give me your queen, buddy. So do we take that, or do we take on c5? Probably a no to this, even though it looks pretty damn good. But no sense being fancy when you're winning an entire queen.
Let's go.
Just get that off the board, and that's that. Yeah, I went for a very quick, like, attack there. Just mobilize the bishop, get the queen out. That unpins myself when I played this. I'm getting out of my own pin so that I can play knight e4. Knight c5 coming. We're just very active, and white has this random f4 move that doesn't really seem to do anything. All right, back to e4.
Dance with me.
Are we gonna see a? We're gonna see a Scandi to remember. All right, queen there, d4, just keeping it so simple here.
Let's
We
go.
need to see our opponent show us what we need to be scared of in the Scandi. Would b4 be more aggressive? Yep, definitely. There's lots of very aggressive options, but the series isn't about playing the craziest gambit you can think of or sacking material. Usually I'm playing the openings pretty normal for the most part,
Let's go.
and seeing what we can do from there. Maybe queen d2. If knight d5, I guess we'll go back bishop d2. Ready to take back. The only thing that's kind of annoying about that is, okay, we'll do this. Could castle. I don't really love that he's gonna also castle that way, so yeah, let's do this. We got a3 next, so we might get the bishop pair. Again, not really the end of the world, but
Stop.
yeah, so his knight is jumping into some really nice squares next. That is annoying. I really should castle short here.
Mind dimension, mind dimension, mind dimension, mind dimension, mind dimension, mind dimension.
Knight here, I'll go
mind
bishop
dimension,
b4.
Mind dimension, 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 mind
Hitting this. Okay, so
mind dimension, mind dimension,
right. Then the question is, G4. I'm not sure we have time for it because A5 is happening and that pawn is a problem. I mean, I can play G4, but I can't do more than that. Knight E5, A5 takes. We might need to long castle here. A5, just bishop back to E1. I don't want to let the knight capture it. Maybe that's a better move than A5, yeah. Same but better. The same but better. H4, H5, or Knight H4. Both look very good. Knight H4 because I can take the bishop and take that. But yeah, I figured he would attack this pawn. I think I'm just going to do this. Just kind of hoping that works out. I mean, H5, even at the cost of this pawn, the bishop is trapped there. So I feel like that needs an answer. But I could be wrong. Okay, so I think we do this and we just send G5. That's like the way to do things, the way to attack. I can feel the potential of a rook G1, bishop C3. It's somewhere on the walls, just waiting to be found. I have to take this, that's forced. Now, allowing that capture doesn't look great. I think we can take this. This is defended. Maybe G6 was also interesting. I wanted to just take the G file with the check, but yeah, G6 was also interesting. Didn't even really think about it. Important to note that I can't really remove that knight very easily. Yeah, he goes that way. Kind of smart. Kind of smart. Gotta hand it to him. f8. I think we launched a great attack here. This is exactly like, yeah, g5. I know it doesn't look fantastic, but I think this is tough to deal with objectively. But rook g1, a little bit hasty. I kind of wish I had done something else here. He certainly played well. No, he really did. And yeah, bishop f4, bishop d2 is no doubt a waste of time, but I just have to tread a little bit carefully in the opening because I want to make sure I can always like castle opposite of him. And in this case, I should have probably castled this way, but the way he played, I needed to move. So kind of an error, I guess, going bishop there. But I had to develop this bishop, and bishop d2 didn't seem that interesting. Maybe I should have just played that instead. But it didn't look like a very ambitious move. At least after this and bishop back, a3 he kind of has to take because we're ready to hit the queen. Still, first time I've seen the Scandinavian played, in my opinion, well. Like everyone just moves the queen around, but finally at 1500, 1550, we saw a good Scandinavian game. All right. Okay, we'll take the center when we see that. Now I wonder if we're gonna see like the hippo here. If I do this, he goes knight f6. Okay, I'm gonna gain a little bit more space. Let's go e5 because that's always like a nice attacking situation. Take with the f pawn, h4. This is a really good wedge. Now I can think about just doing this straight away. In the interest of time, I probably will. So if he goes there, then I'll just take back because then if he takes, we've got the same move. If he takes here, I mean, this is why the anchor move h4 was played. Takes, pawn takes, and then trying to play queen h5. It's just a really common mating pattern. Okay, so he plays king g6. Queen d3 check. f5 is the only move. I think he's cooked there. I mean, queen here, if the king goes, we're gonna have a mate somewhere. So f5 only move. If I take, he's got to take with the king. And then, honestly, short castle is checkmate. So, you're gonna have to work hard to convince me not to play short castle mate. That's one of the rarest checkmates in chess. Because king here gets mated. King here, we can play g4. And yeah, we take this with check. And king has to take. And short castle checkmate. That's pretty rare. You don't see that very often. I can count probably the amount of times I've delivered castle checkmate on maybe 2 hands, maybe even 1 hand. I think, yeah, quite simply one of the rarest things in chess to have castle checkmate. And this is a really special castle checkmate because a lot of the castles for mate ones that I've seen or done, the king has been like, you know, brought down here. But this one, castling and having the king on f6, that's pretty far away actually. Oh my goodness, I'm being trolled. Tapions knows what he's doing. He's trolling me. I'm sitting here with a short castle checkmate in 14 moves. And I'm really fielding questions from the chat saying, Amon, was h5 working earlier? What do you mean was it working? This 14 moves checkmate with castling. What do you want? Was h5 working? What do you mean? Look at this. It's beautiful. What do you want from me? I'm trying to provide some rare checkmates here, rare Pokemon capture. Now, can anyone tell me the ingredients for a Greek gift sacrifice that you need to be sure that it works? Because right here, I have them. But what are they? Because a lot of the time, I see people like play bishop h7 and it might not work. But there are some pretty key ingredients that you can just look for, and if you have them, send it. So what do we need? What are the ingredients? So we can start to understand how bishop h7 comes to be. Like, did I sit there and calculate every single variation there? No, I just saw the ingredients and I was like, yep, okay, it's time to send it. No knight on f6. Okay, no knight on f6, that's correct. Yep, that's one of the ingredients. And no knight on f6, more specifically, pawn on e5. Because even if there's no knight on f6, let's say the pawn wasn't there, you take knight g5, queen h5, and black would play knight f6. So you need there to be no knight on f6, and also no knight that can go to f6. So that's two things in one. Both are very important. No knight on f6, and no knight that can go to f6. Okay, we're not done yet though. Yes, that's a big one, Edwig. A.B. Shakespeare, Edwig. That's a big one. G5 has to be controlled, meaning this bishop could be gone and the pawn could be back, and that would still count because I can play knight g5 successfully. But you have to be able to deliver knight g5 check safely, meaning it's not hanging, or even if it can be taken, you can take with the h-pawn and renew the h-file pressure. So knight g5 needs to be available. It sounds obvious, but still, I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily think that. If this pawn was on h2, I feel like a lot of people would be thinking about sending bishop h7 here. It's not good enough. Okay, no knight on f6, no knight that can go to f6, which technically means like pawn on e5, basically. We have to be able to play knight g5. Our queen, for the most part, has to be able to reach h5. It's not always necessary. Sometimes you can do it with the queen on like a different diagonal, but no. For the most part, your queen needs to be on this diagonal, able to go to h5, right? And I would say once you have all of that, that's good enough. That's the baseline. Once you see that, it's like, okay, I can most likely send it, right? And you can verify with a bit of calculation, but you need no knight on f6, a pawn on e5, knight safely available to go to g5, and the queen ready to go to h5. Once you got all that, it'll usually work. That's pretty much it. And in this position, I had all that. If my pawn wasn't there, then I wouldn't have this. If the pawn wasn't there, then it also wouldn't work. If the knight, if the bishop wasn't on c1, it also wouldn't work. Well, I guess if the bishop wasn't on c1, in this case, it would be a check, so probably would still work. But even still, without the bishop on c1, it would be close. It would be close. Yeah, for the most part, these are the maybe 4 ingredients. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Have I ever gotten this in classical? Tons of times. Tons of times. All right, we're 1547. See if we can push to 1550 here. e4, I'll go for e5 for now. And let's see what kind of position we can create here. Okay, I'm gonna go d5. Very aggressive. I'm almost trying to like repeat the Scotch. Not sure how successful that's gonna be. But it's like I'm playing the Scotch from Black's perspective, so we'll give it a go. Yeah, that's a good move right there. That's a good move right there. 94, I'll slide over this way. Knight b5 is kind of annoying, because I have to stay on that pawn, but knight b5 is also a weird move.
Dance with me.
Okay. I mean,
Let's go.
knight b5 doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, but it is the most annoying for me personally. So, honestly, knight b5 I feel like is a directed move. It annoys me personally, but nowhere else with knight b5
Let's
be
go.
good. Hey, stop that. I feel targeted here.
Dance with me.
I'm trying to get castling to happen. Okay. Gotta remove this knight, no doubt about it.
Dance
If
with
knight
me.
here, I'll slide over to g6. Still not great, but yeah, I'm just trying to get developed here. There's always some bishop h3 idea. Threaten mate,
Let's go.
but he's got it covered with knight g3. Okay, is that a threat? I wouldn't say so. It's certainly not one that bothers me. I know bishop h3 is tempting, but after knight g3, all of a sudden I have to move my bishop again.
Dance with me.
I don't know if I'm thrilled about that.
Let's go.
So what I'm thinking is that I would rather play this. So now if h3, then I can take it. And meanwhile, this pin is kind of nice. And I don't mind this capture. And I'd like to castle very much. Very much so. Yeah, very tempting, guys, to go f5, like start sending it, but with my king in the middle, that's just not good, not a good practice. So I do want to get castled, but then anything goes. Okay, we have this pin. Knight d4 even could be a strong move,
Dance with me.
but all I really want to do is castle here. Let me castle. Bishop d5. If knight d4, I'm actually kind of worried about knight takes e5. I think I'm in trouble there.
Dance with me.
So I think we got a castle. Which, like, I'm not super upset about, but... I guess strangely after this, you can still do this. That's pretty annoying. If I'm being like completely honest, we might have to play a different move. Man, how
Dance with
annoying.
me.
95 is so killer. But what am I supposed to do here instead? The castles is, I guess, not good. I have to play some really slow move like f6.
Let's go.
Yeah, 95 is so strong. I'm not really sure the best way to deal with that. I don't think there's any way around this. How sad. Wow.
Dance with
Yeah,
me.
bishop f3, bishop takes
Let's go.
b7. It's pretty good. Well, that's unfortunate. I guess we'll just see if we can. I guess we'll just see if we can survive this position. I don't see any way that we're not just worse here. Yeah, I think we're just worse. That's sad. Okay, and he didn't play any of it. Okay. Well, that was a good long think there. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. Gotta capture that like without even thinking. Threatening h4. We'll see the king move here, no doubt about it. I think what we want to do is this and this. So kick the knight out of e4 as well. And then probably proceed with queen h5 and bishop c5, queen f3, and like some mate on h2 or something. Yeah, it seems like king h1 is forced. So maybe this. Ooh, okay, I don't know about that one. It's the riskier one for sure. Let's go f5. I mean, it's hanging, but also f4 is happening. So if queen here, we can stay defending that and just go f4. That's why I didn't really expect this. But yeah, I guess it is still playable.
Every time I look into your eyes, I see the future.
Rook takes e5. Pretty much still fighting here. Yeah, I almost think that the vibe might be to just run the h-bomb. I'm gonna try that. Go bishop f6 and move the h-pawn here. Help.
Mind dimension, mind dimension.
There goes my h-bomb. This is a funny position. Like, so I'll take the rook here, and then I'm about to get checked with the king. I would have been in a world of hurt if knight takes c5 was played. I didn't see a single way to avoid being down a pawn, queens traded, and have the worst minor piece and the worst pawn structure. Disaster. Disaster. I almost played queen takes f2. Like, in my head I was thinking, oh, queen takes f2 would be a great move next. Now it kind of is, but point being, I kind of forgot about that piece. It's all for a trade. We can take f3 later, but this will also threaten rook e1 mate. So I like my queen on f2 for now.
Mind dimension.
It's a good move. That is a good move. Let's take a check now.
Every time I look into your eyes, I see the future.
Dang. Dang, I could have been in some big trouble there. I mean, I didn't really know what to do. Like, castling is so logical here, but unbelievably, This move with knight e5 coming is actually super strong. Castling is, yeah, not a great move, but damn. I had no choice. Like, I would have to literally do this. This is like pure pain. Pure pain. So my operation to play the Scotch with black failed, and I will be reconsidering for next time. I'll be reconsidering. Alright, I'm sticking with e4. I might switch to some aggressive d4 positions as well, but e4 has been serving me well. Win hour seems like the most aggressive way you can play against the French. I don't want to close it up. I want to have those positions where the bishop's aimed here, you know. Okay, let's get the queen out. This is always nice when the pawn is covering f6. Castles, bishop h6 is already very good, so goes here instead. I think already we are going to have a pretty good position. Let's just go here. I want to make him take me so that I can get my bishop out, and that's exactly why he goes in defense. So I know it's tempting to just like develop, go here. I'm actually going to play this move. It's key, I think, because we all know c5 is about to happen. And if I just get my pawn to c3, then all the dangerous stuff that looks like it's about to happen, I should have covered. Whereas if my knight's still on c3, c5 gets a lot of value. d4 is hanging, c4 coming. So I'm kind of waiting for the king to go there. He might feel some weird way about castling in that direction and try to play like that. So I'm kind of expecting that. He goes bishop back. Start with h4. Great move to start with. I was gonna say we're almost certainly going to see h5, and here's my dilemma. Like, queen takes g6 is a good move because takes, bishop g5, knight f6, takes, and we end up ahead the two pawns that we got out of that interaction. But it trades my queen. And obviously queen takes e6 is the more forcing version of that same variation. So it's flashy, but it is the best move. It is the best move. Our opponent's position is still going to be pretty run down after that. I actually can't tell. I think queen takes here might have been better because it's harder to refuse. You know? Whereas here, knight there could have been played. I have to take the queen. Yeah, and this was the position I was talking about. Like, it should be very, very good. I want to make sure to play g3 so that I never have to worry about that. Probably castle. Yeah, rook d1. I want to overprotect that. Go knight f4. Rook h6 will be met by knight f4. Okay, I'm just gonna like defend things here. He's just giving me the pawn. I'm gonna take it. We can go h5 on rook g8. We can also just bring the bishop back. I'm probably gonna go h5.
I got the fire, got the fire. That keeps 'em
'Cause
burning.
I got 3 connected pawns here. Not really concerned.
Got the fire. That keeps 'em burning. Your desire. I got the fire, got the fire. That keeps 'em burning. Your desire. I got the fire, got the fire. That keeps 'em burning. Your desire. I got the fire,
Okay.
got the fire.
Knight c4 will go b3, and knight b3 I'll go rook d1.
Your desire. I got the fire, got the fire. That keeps 'em burning. Your desire. I got the fire, got the fire.
Probably knight back.
That keeps 'em burning. Your desire.
Knight b2. Okay, he only has 1 square he's going to next.
Got the fire.
But then he's got no squares he's going to. So I feel like if we just stop knight d3, eventually we should be trapping that knight. Knight e1, there's bishop d2 though. Quite a strange position. This feels like I'm on a weird side quest here
That keeps 'em burning. Your desire.
to like trap this knight for no reason. You know, like I'm being distracted from the main quest.
That keeps 'em burning. Your desire.
My actual responsibility.
Fire, got the fire.
This is like
That keeps 'em burning. Your desire.
unnecessary.
I got the fire, got the fire. That keeps 'em burning. Your desire.
Like we're not actually gonna get this knight, I think, but we're gonna think that we're gonna get this knight. We're not gonna get it though. I don't think we're gonna get it. Knight d1. I still can't get that thing. Okay, that's a little bit more helpful. Because now I'm threatening both of these.
I got the fire, got the fire. That keeps 'em burning. Your desire. I got the fire, got the fire. That keeps 'em burning. Your desire. I got the fire, got the fire.
Wow, we got that damn thing.
I got the fire, got the fire.
Even here, I'm like, huh?
That keeps 'em burning. Your desire. I got the fire, got the fire.
Okay. Yep, let's get that bishop out of the way. Make way for my pawns, please. Coming through.
Keeps 'em burning. Your desire.
Coming through. I don't want to just go here and let him like win 2 pawns for the bishop. Like for example, now that was only 1 pawn. Much better. Much better. Now, if I just put my rooks behind 2 pass pawns and push both of them, essentially I can run him out of moves. As soon as one of these pieces moves, I just push the other one of the pawns. Oh, there we go. It moved, I push. Makes your life a lot easier. Damn. I thought he was sitting there doing nothing. Like the guy was, I thought he was like AFK. Now I have to redo my thing about making the king move. Your king will move. It will move. Good game, good game. He was squirmy at the end, wasn't he? I like this. Yep, I like this French attacking game. Yeah, queen e6. I guess it's a bit better. Queen takes g6 also looks good, though. I guess it occurred to me, like, maybe this. But once I noticed this was check, it's like, yeah, we always do this one, of course. I just can't say no to a good move like that, and it will most likely be brilliancy. Queen takes g6 might have even been a mistake. Yeah. Good, good. We got credit. That's all I want. Queen takes g6 low-key would have been, I think, I would go so far as to say a mistake. Yeah, how crazy is that? It's a blunder. Queen takes g6, double question mark blunder because of this. You know? Also this, I just realized, wow. But this one was a double exclamation mark, brilliancy. So we take those, we take those. This board is not great to watch. Do you mean the color scheme? Is it offending you? What would you prefer? How can we make the board more acceptable for you? You want to make sure that you're comfortable here. Hello, chicken pants. This is a 40-minute think for the answer. All right, we're keeping the board. Okay, is it time to at least attempt the Mora, the most aggressive opening in chess? I don't think you can do this. I'm gonna go e5. I don't think you can leave that knight there like that. So knight g4, I'm probably gonna develop a piece and watch that pawn. h6 to follow, like castles, sorry, h3 to follow, castles h3. Yeah, knight's in an awkward spot here. A6 is not really a great move. Okay. I mean, this is kind of on deck here. I'll go queen d2. It's a little bit of a threat. I don't know how seriously he's going to take it. He goes here. I think I'm just going to move my queen now. Definitely don't really want to help him out there. But if we do this, I actually prefer the bishop there to on e7 because now the d6 square is loose. So I expect this. And I don't know if I want to stay on that diagonal. Okay, yeah, he goes here. Let's bring the knight. He's definitely going to go back, but then I can even return to attack that pawn. Okay, wow. Wow. I'm going to take this to force him to close the file, and then I'm going to give this check on f6. I mean, here we can kind of dream of mate, but I don't actually think it's happening, so. Queen h5 is probably not enough. Yeah, we could just move the bishop. I can take that rook, but after king takes back, I don't know if that's good enough. Yeah, let's just keep the attack going. We'll just move the bishop. Knight h7, king g7, I also don't think is necessary. Okay, now I can take stuff. Knight h7 and bishop g6 wins the most material outright. But bishop takes, as long as I keep this pawn guarded, like rook e1, I just go take this pawn and it looks really tough. Yeah, I actually don't think I want to bother taking this pawn because it kind of helps him coordinate himself. So I'm going to take this. And I'm going to make queen g5 happen. And if queen c7, I'll just reinforce my e-pawn with rook e1. So rook e1 coming up next. Knight e7, all right. I'll fall for it. Knight f5, knight h7, king e8, he's kind of okay. Knight f5 stops queen h6. Queen h6 is mate, so. GG. GG. It's always the plebs, isn't it? The guy who didn't like the board has a lot of move suggestions. A lot of ways we could have improved that game, it seems. Well, we won by checkmate in 21 moves. Obviously, we could have done better than that. Knight d6, play with tempi. Well, knight d6 I think is a little bit worse than knight f6 to hit the rook. No, it was certainly possible. I considered it. Knight d6 here, I can't lie. You can't keep watching. Yeah. Yep. This is the moment when our dear friend wanted us to play knight d6. Slightly inferior move to the chosen knight f takes g5. Great suggestion there. Even putting the actual suggestion on the board doesn't give it any more credibility. But what can we do? We lost one of our, that could have been a super fan. You could have been watching chessbrah for years to come, but sadly, we lost them into the abyss. Yeah, that feels bad. That's a big loss for the community overall. We'll just have to know that you know, the burden of watching is increased for everyone else. I hope you all know that, right? Every time someone departs from this channel for good, everyone else has to watch a little bit more to compensate. So, sorry guys, but it's gonna be a long year. Everyone's got to put in that extra shift. All right, we got to make up for those numerous hours lost. Yep, Adkins, chicken pants. It's gonna be extra overtime shifts for all of us. Hope everyone's ready to grind. Because after that big loss for the channel, well, I think we all know we need to step up. So let's see if we can get another game in here, and I want you guys to pay even more attention than you were before. All right. E4. Let's see if we can make E5 work again. Bishop C4, and I think, yeah, previously I went for some D5 stuff. Castling, I mean, knight takes E4 is... Let's just see what happens. I'm gonna take, and if we get hurt, we get hurt. Like I said, if we get hurt, we get hurt. He goes bishop takes f7 and rook e1. I mean, can you believe that? Can you believe that? Like, what's dude threatening? Buddy, you've got a pawn for the piece, and you're the one getting attacked. I think we just need rook f8, and then we're pretty much good. The only reason we can't really jump to action right now is just because of our weird king. As soon as we have that king sorted, then we're good. Bishop g5 even, you know, we're close to this, but takes knight g4. There's always queen takes g4. An annoying move. Alright, perfect. I think he thinks that he's doing the tactics here, but he's not doing the tactics here. I'm doing the tactics here. These are my tactics. Queen takes f2 is just hanging, so let's go ahead and just start with that. Anything better? I mean, I don't think so. Check. Careful. Yeah, bishop h3 looks impressive. Yeah, but what are you threatening, dude? Bishop h3, a move so good, I'll let you move again. Yeah, we need to make a threat here. Threat, please. Threat, please. Correct, chicken pants. I assume you meant h4. Yep, I like that one as well, Danger Dolan. The only thing is you gotta move a little bit speedy with, I don't know, moves like 94 in the air, but I like this one. A little bit concerned about 94 Knight d6 though. And even h3 here, like queen g3, queen f4 will win. Bishop takes h3 will also win. Okay. Rook e5 is, yeah. Oh, big rook e5 move. That's kind of impressive. That's kind of impressive, yeah. So, is it true that the best way to play is queen f4? That's my feeling. Queen f4? No way he accounts for a hanging rook and queen f1 maybe. No way. Just can't happen. That would be too impressive. Which one are we getting? Which one are we getting? That's what I'd like to know. f1? I feel like he might be wise to it. He could play pawn b4. He could play rook e1. He's getting queen f1. But he plays g3. A mark of a champion with that move right there. Rook e1. We need to play bishop h3. This puts him back in jail. If he plays king g1, nope, back in jail. I want that king to stay on h1 for the entire game. That's the plan here. There's no getting out of that. Don't want to allow knight f2. I want to be mindful of that. Okay, he's going here. He seems to be getting ambitious. We don't want ambition. We can do this. And as long as we keep a rook here, I think we're going to be all good. The rook is the key ingredient. Because even a pawn on h3 keeps him in jail. Let's go here. It would be my dream to have this game last a lot of moves. A lot of moves. Yes. Back in jail. Back in jail. Take it slow. Take it slow. When is he going to throw in the towel? When will it be, folks? Or will it be? That's called prison. We've jailed him. Lock him up. 25 to life. Yes, the 5 bishop checkmate. I think this is the new one. Probably 5 bishop mate, and where should this king be? To be the most aesthetic. First of all, his king should be here. This king should be maybe all the way here. And then the position should be like that. I think that's the maximum we can do. The only other thing that could be a little bit aesthetic is the king here. Of course, g4 pawn off the board, yeah. You know, just so we make some sort of square. I think the king on d5 could look artistic. Quantity sufficient. Thank you for the 10 subs. 10 kick subs for the new checkmate. The 5 bishop mate. This will be it. Yep, king d5 is better for the thumbnail. Great point from AG. I knew I liked something about this. I didn't realize it was exactly that. We'll see if we can continue our artistry. Yep, okay, I like it. This is the new mate. 5 bishop checkmate. Now, e4 again. Is bishop f7? Should I pre-move it? Like, what the hell? Okay, I don't know how it's not d5. And here, I guess e5 is loose. I think we just, like, to be honest, I think we play f6. That's the way to just keep the material here. But other moves are more tempting. Like bishop g4 is very good. Just like, I don't know what's happening here, but could be some fun. Knight d4. Even f5. at this point, I'm thinking big. Gotta go knight d4. Queen e3, there's even bishop c5, like, just fully mobilizing. Bishop c5 is a very hard move to refuse. I'm just gonna go for this for now. Yeah, it looks tempting to take in a number of ways, but didn't see exactly how to make it work. Like takes, bishop there, queen e2. Didn't quite see. Okay, let's take